All right, here we are. Gary has come into the chat and said lots of alpha being dropped here very soon. So we're here, and hopefully you'll be here too. Let's see. How do I share this out? Let's get this out to folks. 1 second here. There we go. That's what I wanted. You're not here yet because I haven't put it out, but we're all going to be here together. We're all going to hear this very soon. Gary said that he's going to tell us about the VF2 mint, how many NFTs are needed. We expect to hear something about the burn sale for VCon, possibly a book games giveaway this Sunday. So very excited about what he's going to bring us. So let me get this tweet out here so we can get folks to come in, and we will get started in just a moment. Welcome, welcome. We're just tweeting this out here. And I will get you guys the info as it comes in. If you would, guys, share this out so we can get folks in here. And that will be super helpful. And maybe folks will have questions that you didn't think of that will help you as well. All right. Hey, Kyle, welcome. So Gary teased it this morning earlier that he said today we'll give some clarity. He asked who is going to VCon as he is getting everyone excited. At 11:29, he said, get ready. And then added a lot of alpha being dropped within the hour. That was 20 minutes ago, saying win the friends list, how many NFTs for series 2, and then encouraged everyone to grab some book games NFTs. So if he does announce a burn sale, it's going to be kind of hard for me to stream because I want to participate in that burn sale, but we're going to try to do this all together. Got a couple screens here. Maybe we can make it work. I'm checking actually the VeeFriends blog site because he said that there would be some information coming today on that site. So I'm trying to see if I can be there even before he announces it, but we'll see. So the last post on the blog site was February 25th. So that was last week, but it doesn't mean it can't update it today. Yeah, I don't know. The burn sale might be today. He did say it would be this week earlier in the post, the video that he almost gave away, the wood frames and the wood frames being what's needed for that. So it will be interesting if it is today. I'm excited. Got some cough drops here. I know I've been struggling with my cough. I don't want to do that too much to you guys today. So I'm ready for this to happen. Let's go, Gary. So to recap, a lot of stuff are going on that Gary has talked about in the last, 48 hours, really. And you could see that on the other live streams that I've posted. He's talked about the burn mechanism for vFriends Series 2. So having 5 of the same frame, the rarity and background not mattering, not making a difference on that, just having 5 of the same frame. Again, my theory is that the 15 frames match up to the 15 new characters. He did say that VF2 would have more than 25,000 in the collection, but that only a small percentage of that was going to be new characters. So there are tons of people who have gathered up 5 of the same frame, of various frames sets that they have, and they want to get a new character. But if there's only a small amount, it is going to be a race. So my theory is that there's only a few of each character. And let's say there's 100 wallets with 5, I don't know, emerald frames, and there's only 50 characters that correspond to that frame, then only 50 people are going to get it, and the other 50 will miss out on that. He did also say something that was really interesting, that you're going to find out who is in the friends list, whether your tokens have been selected for that prior to the burn sale part of it. So we thought the burn sale would happen first. Those tokens would be eliminated, and then he would do the friends pass. He's saying you'll know ahead of time, and then you can do the burn sale choice. You can say, I'm going to choose to burn for a new character, or I'm going to mint. He also added that, let's say you're selected to mint. You have 5 tokens and 2 of those are selected to mint. If you choose to mint one of them, but not the other one, that is not transferable. It will go to the public mint after that. So you either mint it or it goes to the public mint. You can't sell that opportunity to mint as that goes. Hey, welcome, Snakeonia. That sounds right. Welcome. We were just waiting for Gary. I imagine he said noon earlier, so we're 7 minutes off that, 6 minutes off that now, according to my clock. So I am very ready. Let's see. He said, huge blog post coming out today around noon Eastern that will explain a lot about the friends list and will remind many that book games NFTs are the only way to get on the friends list. So that's exciting. He said that at 6:30 this morning. Apparently, Gary does not sleep. As you can see from me, I don't sleep very much either. So we're going to do this together. All right. 12:30 is possible. Sure. Jeremy, welcome. Thanks for being here. It definitely is possible that it gets delayed a little bit. Yesterday, I had to cut the stream off and had some things to do. And then 5 minutes later, Gary jumped back in the chat and started giving us more info. So we came back, which is exactly what I'll do today. I plan to stay through this, but if for some reason we sit here and nothing happens and the time continues to tick on, if we have to close it down, we'll bring it back. We'll make sure that we have the information available for you. I know some people are at work and they don't have the ability to track the Discord all day. I'm here for you, trying to give you that information. So happy to do that. Hopefully we'll get what we're looking for today. More information about VF2. Possibly the VCon burn sale could start today. He said this week. This is the end of the work week. I don't know if he qualifies the work week as the end of the week, or if, this guy works 24/7. So maybe it's not today, but it could be today. And then he did tease the book games giveaway for Sunday. He said Sunday looks promising. So that was intended for a few weeks ago. His flight plans got delayed on that particular day. We've been waiting to hear the rescheduling of that. So if you don't have any book games tokens, Sunday may be a good opportunity for you to win some somehow. We don't know any details on that other than that it's a giveaway. So looking forward to that as it comes. If you don't have any book games tokens, it's pretty easy to get. I did a step-by-step guide on how to do that on my channel. You can check there as well, or you can jump in the Discord. Lots of folks want to help. We would love to help you figure that out. Token Trove is where you would find that, but there are a few steps to get your wallet set up and all that. Bob, I think you've got 3 chances, right? So 26% is a pretty good chance per token, and you can hold on to those and see what happens. So your statement about not being able to get more is fine, right? There are people who have 1. There's tons of folks who only have 1 book game token. But if you're going to mint that way, you don't have 5 frames, you're not burning for the new character, you are going to need at least $1,000 in ETH to be able to mint from the friends list side of the equation. So just be prepared for that. And you get 12.5 days to do that. Yeah, so VBob, 26% chance. Gary said yesterday you have a 26% chance per token, statistically speaking, to be placed on the friends list. So people have done some math and calculated maybe the collection is around 32,000, possibly. I think Jeremy Knows told us 25,555. Gary loves 555, so that could be the case too. Would be fun to see if that's it. But again, a small percentage of that is the new characters. So if you're going for the 5 frames and burning, there's not a lot of those. You'll have to be fast. Hey, Brandon, welcome. Got 2 granite, still grinding for the same frame. My first 2 tokens are both 1 of 73. Those are nice. Great. Yeah, so rarity is not going to matter for VF2, right? If you're doing the burn, that's not going to matter. But in the long term, book games is forever, and you're going to have plenty of opportunities for those tokens to come into play at some point. But patience is key, right? VF1 bonus will either be more book games tokens or auto whitelist is your guess. Not a bad guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they get. He hasn't announced that. He did tease yesterday that he knew something. He was ready to say the advantage that VF1 holders had. He asked the Discord, do you need more time? Do you need more time to buy your VF1 before I announce this? Because when I announce it, the floor is going to go through the roof. So he didn't announce it. We waited. We kind of encouraged him to. Some people were saying, no, wait, I need more time. Others were saying, you've had plenty of time. Let's go. So we'll see if that comes today. As I've said before, I think Gary knows something. He gets excited. He doesn't have a time he doesn't have the ability to hold it in, right? I think he wants to tell us he's ready to move this forward, and maybe today could be the day. Yes, you can get a shout out. DW, hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for watching and being a part of the family here. So we're approaching the 12 o'clock time. I don't expect it to be right at time, but I am tracking the VeeFriends blog. I'm tracking the exchange. I imagine when they announce the VCon burn sale, that they will have to update the exchange to enact that. So right now you can go to the exchange and trade 13 tokens. Let's say he drops it down to 10 or 7 or 5 even. They're going to have to change the exchange to make that work. So I'm watching the exchange to see if that changes even before they announce it. See, and you're here and you know that, and other people don't. They'll have to see it after the fact. So thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all being here. If you're planning to go to VCon, do you flip wood frames while price is high? If you're planning to go to VCon, as if I'm planning or if someone is planning. So if you have wood frames and you don't have a VCon ticket, hold on to those, because that's what the burn sale is supposed to be. It's supposed to be wood frames. Gary called that out yesterday. So if you have a VCon ticket and you've got some wood frames, now's a good time to sell them, because the floor is rising quite a bit. So you have a good chance to make a little bit of ETH there if you'd like to, if you don't need them. If you have 5 wood frames, you maybe hold on to them for the VF2 burn and see what you can get from that. Yeah. Hey, Jonathan, welcome. Audio is good. Great, Bob. Thank you. I realized I wasn't using this mic yesterday, and my PC was like, the fan was kicking on and off, being a little louder than I'd liked. So put it back in here. Put 4 stars after the initial wood announcement. Yeah, I'm hoping it's 4. He did put 4 burn emojis, right? I don't know if his finger got tired or if 4 represents something. That would be incredible. I have mine ready to go. Let's go. Let's make this happen. You're going to see a very excited person here if I can get a VCon ticket on the exchange today. I'm going to be thrilled by that. I also have a set of 5 frames that are not wood, intent on burning for a new character. But again, even if you don't have 5 frames and you're not burning for a new character, you get on the friends list, you're going to get a random character opportunity to mint if you are selected. 26% chance per token. Some people have done the math on that. They're saying it's around 20 tokens needed to have a guaranteed chance. Statistically speaking, there is no guarantee, but statistically you could have a good shot at getting that. I imagine if you have anywhere between 5 and 10, you're probably got a great shot at getting at least 1 opportunity to mint. Could get 5, could get 10. It just depends on how that works. Brandon, I'm doing all I can to get there. It may be I have to buy it off the secondary market. People who can't go want to get rid of it, or really just like Busy NFT. That would be amazing too. if you just have extra tickets laying around. But there's value in those. Let's be clear. The VCon tickets for VF1 holders or the VCon tickets at all, they're actually NFTs, and they're going to be a collector's item as well in the long term. Hey, man, I was at the very first VCon that happened 25 years ago. That's going to be something one day. Time goes faster than you think sometimes. Am I a whale? No, Bob, I am not a whale. Define whale. We've talked about this in the Discord a little bit. And I think we said, somewhere over 50 would be a whale, or maybe even 20 to me would be a whale. I don't even have, maybe have half that depending on the day. So there are folks that jump around and have ponies and koalas and play those games. I'm not there. The highest thing that I have is what I have shown people. It's been in my Discord profile, which is the Humility Gold Neon. I'm very proud of that, but just a guy making YouTube videos, trying to enjoy the ride. We're having a great time here. If a lot of wood burns and they're no longer the most common frame, he may make the wood the frame to have going forward. Absolutely, Tom. But that's true for a lot. So this is what's fun about this game, right? So Gary's doing wood right now for VCon. Obviously, you can burn wood for the new characters. So let's say wood does become more rare. And then clear or silver drops down to become the most common frame. Well, wood will be priced accordingly. And then people will start burning those others. And then they will be priced accordingly. So it's the market understands this. Hopefully the larger market understands it. And people will adjust accordingly, especially if Gary calls something out. So it is certainly possible that we will see over the life of this game, as Gary said, 40 to 50 years, that different things that have been common become more rare, and things that were rare may lose their position of status there. Wood for the devil, okay, could be, because wood burns best. So if devil is one of the new characters, possibly burning the wood frames for that would be interesting. Jeremy, maybe you can tell me where the angel falls in VF1. Is that a rare character? Is that, very rare, or is that just a common character? Maybe he puts devil down with wood, which is a very common frame, and the angel up is a very rare frame. I don't know. I'm reaching here, but would be interesting to see. Oh, Jonathan, sorry, I didn't mean to skip your question. You have 4 black frames and set to buy one. Should you get it now or wait for the announcement? I think any announcement that Gary provides, if it says something about black frames are going through the roof. That's just me. Let me say what I need to say. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I try to talk in general terms, in the sense of I certainly don't know everything, and I would never say what you should personally do with your money. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different strategy. So I will say, every time Gary says something about a specific frame, the floor goes up. So do with that what you will. And sorry, I missed you the first time. Top 25. I don't know what top 25 means, Jeremy. Please tell me about that. Let's check back on the VeeFriends exchange. Nothing changed in the exchange. No new blog posts. And in Discord, Gary has not said anything in, what time did he say this? In 36 minutes. All right, let's check Twitter. Sometimes Gary throws it out on Twitter first. Maybe that app is just on his front page and Discord's the next one over. Don't see anything on Twitter. Let's check Instagram. Right, I'm tracking you, Gary. Nothing on Instagram. Let's check VeeFriends Instagram. Okay, anybody on TikTok? Let's go over there. I don't know that he's dropping alpha on TikTok lately. I don't need sound. Let's see. Okay, I don't see anything on TikTok. So we are tracking everywhere we could possibly be tracking to see this alpha. He typically drops it in Discord first, or Twitter, and then immediately Discord. So we'll see. Angel isn't any more rare. All admission characters have 40 tokens, but Angel's desirable based on G's comments. Cool. Appreciate that. Again, I was just reaching. Maybe there's a correlation there. Got the last 2 silver. Good. The floor is going to go up. It was overnight. Yes. Yes, as we get closer to April, we've predicted this. March, the floor is just going to continue to rise to VF2. There might be a slight dip after VF2, but then I believe VCon in May will cause the floor to rise again. I'm confident that there will be alpha delivered at VCon about whatever Gary is building for the project, probably, the next 6 months, a year, maybe longer than that. He'll give us insight into those things. People are going to be excited about that. And that will make the floor rise. Plus, there's going to be fewer tokens after VF2 because we're burning. There have been estimates that burns could go as high as 25,000 tokens during this time. Now, I don't think that's the case based on what he said yesterday, that the new characters are a small percentage of the total population of VF2. So let's just take a random guess, right? Let's say VF2 is at 25,000 or just over 25,000. A small percentage of that would be anything less than 10%, right? Maybe 5, but let's just say 10 for round numbers. That puts it at 2,500 characters. 2,500 characters times 5 for the burn sale, right? Because people are burning, they're burning 5 frames to get to that. That would be 12,500 frames that are tokens that are now being removed from the system. Currently, to date, there have only been just over like 2,300, I think. Let me click and make sure. I don't want to click out of what I'm in right now. Yeah, so 2,353 total burn. So imagine that going up by even just 10,000 would drop the total supply to about 112,000, increasing rarity of some tokens. And it would definitely change the dynamic there. All right, Gary, we're waiting on you. We're looking. Gotta make sure I stay current on my list here. Let me check your questions. Appreciate you guys being here for all your questions coming in. The cheapest is a stuck token. He dropped a VF2 character on TikTok. I believe that's where I saw the bear character. There you go. And that's why I try to follow everything, right? I saw the fairy on Instagram, the Fearless Fairy, and then he posted it in Discord. If you're going to burn the frame NFTs so I can just get a floor lava, right? They're hollow. Yeah, so if you're going to burn it, I wouldn't pay extra for hollows or any special attribute or background if you're going to burn it. Now, I do think the frames match to the new character, so I think a more rare frame is going to be tied to a more rare new character. That makes sense to me. He hasn't clarified that yet, but it does make sense that that could be the case. So don't pay for the background if you're going to burn the token right now. Pay for the frame. Lava isn't always the floor, but yes, the cheapest in the frames at the moment. Yeah, lava, the reason that is there's more lava than anything else in the original rarity grid. So that's probably why lava is the lowest price. It's the most common, but if things get burned, that could certainly change. Do I know if you get on the friends list, will you be guaranteed to mint? So if you're on the friends list, let me say it this way. Every Book Games token you have is a chance to be selected to mint. It is a raffle. If your token is selected to mint, you are on the friends list and you can choose to mint by paying $1,000 in ETH. You can mint. You may get more than one opportunity. You may not. So every token you has a chance to be an opportunity. So if you have 5, you could get selected 5 times to mint. You could get selected 0 times to mint. It is all up to chance. And then you will have 12.5 days with which to mint. Gary trying to help us avoid the gas fees being so high. Yeah, thank you guys for answering each other in the chat. That's cool. How do you think Gary is going to make rarer frames burn more, make it worth it lesser of a certain character overall? Yeah, so I think I understand your question, Daniel, that if there are new characters that match the frames, right? Obviously, there's only 645 champagne frames left in the game. If people are burning 5 of those, they're going to go very quickly. So you can't even have 200 of those characters to burn for in the game because that would require 1,000 frames and 1,000 don't exist. So I imagine the more rare the character is, the fewer there will be. Whereas with wood, there's lots of wood available to burn. Maybe there's more of those in the new character collection. Again, the new character collection is a smaller subset of the overall collection. So we'll see. I think we're going to be surprised at how few new characters are actually available to burn. I think some people that got 5 frames that wanted to burn will not be able to get theirs. It's a race, as Gary has said. So it will be interesting to see what that is. All right. I was hoping there would be a burning event for real, same spectaculars like 5, but with the launch nearing looks like possible. So he's already said that the backgrounds don't matter for this. There will likely be other burn events. There certainly is an opportunity to burn the same spectaculars right now for a VCon ticket. If you want to burn 13, you need one of each of the attributes with the same background. So there is precedent for that, for him having the same background and being used that way. But he has called out VF2 as not being the case for that. So the background is not going to matter for VF2 burn. All right. No blog posts, nothing on the exchange. Let's check the book games floor, shall we? So we've talked about, I've told you many times that Pearl was undervalued. It looks like people are starting to value it. It went from 0.47 last night to 0.53 today. That's pretty good. Let's see where Wood's at. I see Wood sitting at, that first one at Wood, token 56406 is what they call a phantom token. You can try to buy it, but it won't work. So that's a glitch. The floor for Wood right now is 0.31. That is wild. It was 0.24 as early as yesterday morning, maybe, the evening before Wednesday evening, 0.24. It is up to 0.31. That's a lot. Now, there may be people who have bought up to 10 Wood frames to try to get a VCon ticket, and Gary says you need 7. And then they have 3 extra. They're going to list those. They'll probably list them, near the floor now. But I imagine after people burn their Wood frames, if they have some left over, they'll probably start to list those. So it could be a balance that if this is a 24-hour VCon ticket burn, Gary did say 24 hours, but I think there's a limitation on the number of tickets. But let's say it goes and there's tickets available, 8 hours from now, 8 hours after he announces. I would imagine those Wood frames might come down a bit. You may be able to snag one for a cheaper price from people who are getting rid of their leftovers. That depends on a lot of things. If tickets are available, if you get 24 hours, if the cost to get a ticket is less. I will say there will probably be people who will try to buy more than one VCon ticket. So let's say they have 10 Wood frames and it only requires 5. They might buy 2 and then try to sell one on the market afterwards, sell a ticket on the market afterward. So we'll just have to wait and see. There's a lot of unknowns right now. 12:15 Eastern. I imagine that we'll be hearing from Gary very, very soon. He said within the next hour. That was at, let's see, I want to make sure I get 11:29. So 14 minutes and we will have exceeded the hour. Now, to be fair, Gary's a very busy man. You can't hold him exactly to that schedule. He's not necessarily in control of his schedule. If you've ever watched his podcast, times that he's been on with people, he's got folks around him and he says, what time is it? Are we supposed to leave now? Do I have time to stay? So I don't know that he controls his schedule completely. And maybe caught up in some important things. We'll see. Where these hollow will play a part. Jonathan, book games is forever. You got to remember. And Gary will continue to add value and utility to this project. And at any moment, he could walk into the Discord and say, hey, if you have 5 hologram or backgrounds, then burn for this, and you can do this, whatever it is. I don't know. Go to this party or attend this event. He could do that tomorrow if he wanted to. So everything's going to play a part. Book games is forever. You got to be patient. And that's why we hold here. Floorwood empathy is mine. Nice. Good, Tom. Appreciate it, man. Anything you've heard with clear frame? I have not heard anything with clear frame that I can remember off the top of my head. I might have to research that a little bit, Joe. So sorry. I think there's some guesses on what clear frame could match up to with new characters, but I can't remember off the top of my head anything new with clear frame. Yeah. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the live stream, if I'm providing value to you at all, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up, a like. It would really help if you would share. People are asking great questions, and we are a community. Just like in our Discord, we try to help each other. So maybe other people have questions that you haven't talked about and could help you answer something that you maybe forgot you needed to know. Somebody pinged me in the Discord. You missed the 7-wood alpha. So there hasn't been 7-wood alpha. I was just speculating that possibly the VCon burn sale could require 7. A sale would be anything less than 13 of the same background, including conviction and gratitude. So it could be 11 of the same background, in wood without conviction and gratitude. That would be a big sale because conviction and gratitude are pretty expensive right now. So he can do what he wants. He did say it would be more than 1 wood. That's about the number that we know. So our upper limit's 13. Our lower limit is 1, is my guess right now. What frames are the best to get? Great question. It just depends on what your strategy is, what your budget is, and what your intent is. If you're intending to burn and you want to get a new character, I would estimate that the more rare the frame is, the more rare the character will be, likely the more valuable it will be in the long term. So if that's your goal, get a rare frame there. The most rare frame is Champagne, followed by Neon and then Pearl. So if you like that, you can do that. If you are interested in going to VCon, the most important frame for you would be wood right now because you have a chance to burn those wood frames for a VCon ticket. This is why there's never just one answer to the question, what should I get, right? It varies depending on what your goal is. A lot of people are intent on getting a new character. My personal priority is getting to VCon. And I explained that yesterday in my live stream of why I'm prioritizing that. But that means my answer to that question is different than yours. And we just want to be careful that you're playing your game. Realize that FOMO is a real thing. There's a lot of excitement going on around this. And you likely came into this with a strategy and with a budget, hopefully. And don't do something with your money that you didn't intend to do. That's going to cause you to have negative consequences if things don't go the way you hope, right? That's just gambling. And while this is a risky investment, it is intended to be an investment. And typically, long-term investments are kind of the best kind for ensuring positive returns, at least according to what I've seen in monetary policy over the last 100 years in America. So that's just my take. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Is it confirmed that each frame has different new character? It's not confirmed. It is complete speculation. People have asked that question and he has skirted that answer. So that theory still holds in my opinion, but it is a theory. He has not dispelled it yet. It makes sense. He did call out that Fearless Fairy would, he said, you better have fur frames. That's where we got the idea that frames would match to characters. So he basically said fur frames are needed for this character. So just extrapolate that over 15 frames, right? Yeah, Sets of Rainbow is fantastic. Caviar as well. I think you're going to get great value from that. I have no idea, Kathleen, what you just typed. So please retype that if you would. So we're on Gary Watch. He said at 11:29, I think I said, that Alpha would be dropping in the next hour. That would put us 9 minutes away from an hour from there. He also said earlier today at 6:30 this morning, huge blog post coming today around noon Eastern. That will explain a lot about the friends list and will remind many that book games NFTs are the only way to get on the friends list. So that's what we're waiting for. I'm sure his team's putting on the finishing touches. We're tracking the VeeFriends blog. We're tracking the VeeFriends exchange, book games exchange, where you're able to exchange your tokens. We're tracking Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and anywhere else Gary could be. The only thing I don't have is his personal cell phone. I would track that if I could, but I don't have that. If any of you have that, send that my way. It's going to make this YouTube channel amazing. No, it doesn't work that way, Bob. So you actually have to multiply the decimals to each other. And it's not, each one is 26%. So you have 2, it's 52%. You have 3, it's 78%. That's not necessarily how math works that way. So if somebody wants to kind of do a quick math lesson on how the percentages work out, or you can go to Tim F, T-I-M-F. he's got a great blog where he's done some analysis on the percentage chances and how that works out. So you can find Tim F in the Discord. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Jeremy Knows and his podcast and all the great information that he provides. A lot of great folks in this community who are trying to do yeoman's work to get information to everybody as quickly as possible. Not everybody has access to sit around in the Discord all day or to track all these things. So we try to provide that and help out the fam. Helping each other is only going to help you. A rising tide lifts all boats. And as book games continues to grow in popularity and in utility, the value is there for everybody. So that's what we want. And that's why we do this. It's going to be 4 book games token as the pick on the blog hinted to 4 with a pick. Did you see that? If you're talking about the VCon burn sale where he had 4 fire emojis, I hope you are correct. I don't know. Maybe he thought 4 just made his point and he didn't need to say more, or maybe it was a very obvious hint that he was giving that it would be burning 4. I hope it's 4. I have 5, so I hope it's 4. That would be great. Otherwise, I'd have to get a couple more. Did you see the gold tenacity sale last night? A ton were listed for 0.2. I picked up 3. I think I did. If you're talking about the wood, tenacity gold wood, I did. And I actually checked to see which of those frames, because there was like Ambition Bubblegum, there was Self-Aware Diamond, Tenacity Gold, there was Optimism Gold wood frames as well. All of those are sitting anywhere between 180 and 250 on the total tokens in existence. So there are some tokens that are 1 of 1, right? The ones that you're discussing and that were on sale last night were roughly 1 of 240, 250, which is fine because we're going to burn them. But I just, always try to say, hey, this one's a little bit more rare. Maybe I don't burn and I have it and it provides me a little bit more value. We're talking about a small, minute amounts. Yeah, so the floor was a lot lower last night than it is right now. The floor has dramatically risen for wood frames. Hey, thanks, Ron. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. If you're having a good time and you're getting help, give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe to my channel, please. I've got a lot of great other videos and some hidden alpha in there that I say hidden. It's stuff that people don't remember. It's very easy to forget. There's so much going on in this space. These videos I use for myself to document and remind me the things that Gary has said, when he said it, why it's important. So that's in there and it's there for you guys. New character mints before the raffle for friends list. So your question is worded a little funny, Project Green. So you will know if you're going to have the opportunity to be on the friends list via the raffle prior to having to burn your tokens for the new characters. So you got 10 tokens, you've got a set of 5 frames and then 5 randoms. You have 10 chances to be on the friends list. You could be selected 10 times. You could be selected 0 times. Let's say you're selected twice. You choose to mint one, but you don't want to mint the other one. Maybe you don't have the 1,000 in ETH. That one goes to the public mint. Then after that, you have a chance to use your 5 frames that are matching to burn for a new character. Hopefully that answers your question on the timeline. We're going to have that written down here in the blog post. I imagine that's part of what the blog post is going to be about today. It's going to tell us exactly the mechanics that we've been waiting to hear about VF2, Series 2. Any marble theories? Yeah, hey, Dr. Gonzo. So he did say marble foundations, right? He was talking about, let me pull that exact thing up. I'll tell you exactly what he said about it. It's been a while since he said that. So I want to make sure. And by the way, if you're in the Discord, you can actually search through Gary's statements that he's made. I think there's something like 15,000. So you're welcome to search through that. He said on January 20th, which was 10 days after project launch, he said, book games are played forever, especially when you have marble foundations. That's pretty much what he has said about marble. Let me see. He said the word marble twice. And the other time was shortly after launch. He said just cool. And he showed empathy, lava, marble. So empathy attribute, lava, spectacular, background, and then marble frame. Those are the only 2 times he said marble. I didn't know he only said it twice. That's interesting. Yeah, let's see. Utility for the VCon ticket. You get to go to VCon. That's the utility. So you're going to use it for that. It will become a collectible. This is the very first ever VCon. There is currently scheduled for 2 more for the next 2 years. VeeFriends holders automatically get 3 years of access to that. But if you get a VCon ticket today, it will be only for VCon 2022, which is May 19th. Excuse me, is opening day on that through the 22nd and in Minneapolis. And that will be your utility for that. Do I have a guess of how much one can resell a VCon ticket? I can't make it in person. I don't know, right? So a lot of that depends. It's going to be tough to gauge the market on that. I don't know. You can't list a VCon ticket on Tokatrove, to my knowledge. And I don't think you personally can list it on the exchange. So you might put it on OpenSea, which I imagine would be the place to do it. And I think that value is going to fluctuate as time fluctuates, right? So to me, there's always an intrinsic collectible value to that NFT. It is a first of its kind. I went to VCon 2022, just like a Super Bowl ticket. If you had Super Bowl I tickets, what's the value of that ticket? Well, it's a collectible. People frame those things, very valuable in that way. But for the utility of actually going and people buying that ticket from you, I think you're going to see a rise and fall of the prices. As we get closer to VCon, it's going to rise. But once you get too close, it's just like a concert. If I have 2 tickets and I'm using this ticket for me, I can sell this ticket all the way up until the concert starts. But after that, it's worthless for me to sell because the concert's over. No one's going to get that value out of it other than, in this case, the collectability value. So there's always going to be intrinsic value in that. But the ability to sell it, I think the price would go down probably after maybe the first week in May, like starting May 8th and beyond. It's going to be very hard to sell those tickets because people won't be able to make travel arrangements and all that to be able to get there. So then you're just selling the collectability of it, not necessarily the utility of it. Hopefully that makes sense. You want to find the Tim F blog, Tanner, go into the Discord, search Tim F and click his avatar. Let me say this, don't click links in Discord. That's my disclaimer, but I've clicked Tim F's quite a bit and it's safe as far as I've been. I mean, I can post it here, but I tell people don't click links, right? So this is the blog for Tim F. Up to you on clicking that link. It was safe for me. Hope it's safe for you. Let's see. The wood at 24 just sold. Floor literally moved up. Nice. Yep. 500 subs, way under what I deserve. Appreciate that, Justin. Tell your friends. Right? Again, I'm not a monetized channel. This is just something fun that we do. I do appreciate you guys being here. I'm glad that we can help each other, and hopefully we'll continue to do so for a long time to come. I plan to be here for a long time. Any thoughts on the Patience Pig Lava and how that will work? Tom, that is something that we have not heard of. I expect to hear that today, right? He has said Patience Lava gets to go first, wood second, and we're still trying to understand the mechanic of how that works. People have asked, do I have to have 5 frames to burn for a new character? Do I need to have a Patient Lava as the attribute and background for one of those frames? We don't know. Gary has said the backgrounds and attributes don't matter, but he has called out Patience and Lava. So whether that's one of your 5 frames or just an additional token that you have, I just said it this way. If the Patience Lava is the same frame as your 5, that's not a bad idea. It can't hurt to be the case, right? So I think that if you've got it in your set, probably a good thing. If you don't and just have it in your collection, it remains to be seen. But hopefully that will give you an advantage in the race. Justin, glad you're doing well there. Let's see. What do you think about Marble Hollow Candor? I think it's pretty good. The lowest floor. Give me half a second. I'll tell you what I think about Marble Hollow Candor. And you said marble. So there is 75 of those that exist. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good rarity. It's not a 1 of 5, right? Which would be an extreme rarity, or a 1 of 1. But that's a pretty decent one to hold, especially long term, because it's probably a pretty unique thing. Hollows are obviously the most rare background. Marble's kind of in the middle, and Candor's kind of in the middle as well. Put those together, it makes it pretty strong. Any word on if owning a Patience Lava gets you right to go first? I just answered that. Does it only allow you to go first for that specific frame? Yep, we don't know yet. So we're waiting to see MB. Hopefully we'll know more about that today. All right, Gary, you're overtime. Natives are restless. Let's see what we've got here. Nothing from him so far. He is green on Discord, along with 5 of his admins. So I imagine that we're getting close. But nothing from Gary since 11:30. It's 12:30 now. And let's go to Twitter, see what we got there. Trying to make us first. We're going to see if we're going to be the first to get the information. That's the goal, right? Okay. Nope. Not there. What's my thoughts on how many VF2s do you think we can get at one time if we have multiple sets of 5 frames? Depends on how many sets of 5 frames you have and how fast you are, how many people are going for that frame. So, for example, a lot of wood frames out there, a lot of people have wood, and people are going to be racing to get that character. If the collection runs out of that character because there's only a limited amount, you may not get it. So I would say if you have multiple sets, you probably want to try and burn for your most rare first, maybe, to ensure that you get that, and then maybe go to the common one. But then again, there's more people going for common, so maybe those go faster. I don't know. Figure out your strategy of what you think you want to do and stick to it, because it's going to be wild when it happens. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate it. Still on Gary Watch, he said that it would be dropped around noon Eastern. It is now 12:34 Eastern. We have not seen an update, but I guarantee the moment we stop watching, the update will come. What do you think? I believe that is the case. So we're going to keep watching. Thank you for sticking around. I'm just checking Twitter on here. It's a little easier than having to jump to the phone. So nothing there. What other questions do you have? Let's keep the questions coming. 8 sets of 5. Wow, that's what we call a whale meta. That's amazing. So again, the more rare frames might match up to more rare characters. There's probably fewer of those, but there's also probably fewer people in the race for those. So you got to take that with what you want, right? My goal would be to get the most rare that you possibly could. And so I would do that first. That's just me. But there also will be a lot of people going for the least rare. So those may run out faster. It just depends, right? We don't know. And we don't know how Patience Lava plays in. We don't know how the wood plays in, wood burning second. We just don't know the answers to these things yet. We are hoping that the VCon ticket burn sale will happen today. We're also waiting for new information about the mechanics of VeeFriends Series 2 and how that's going to work for the mint. The mint will be early April. That to me means the first 2 weeks. The second 2 weeks would be the back half of April. So the first 2 weeks of April, and then VCon on May 19th. So as this comes about, guys, the floor is going to go crazy. But also remember, if you have a different strategy for long-term playing, you might be able to grab some stuff that nobody else is looking at right now, right? There are a lot of things that aren't being called out for this that you might be able to kind of snag under the radar. For example, Marble, right? He's only said Marble twice in Discord out of 15,000 messages. So it's possible that you could snag something there that people aren't looking at. Any rare NFT with black frame? I'm not sure I understand your question, Jonathan. I'm guessing you're asking me, should you buy a black frame for 0.3? You know, I can never really tell you what to buy. I think you have to figure out what your strategy is and then go that way. If you're trying to make a set of black frames and you need a 5th one, makes sense. If you're going to burn something, but paying extra for a background or an attribute does not make sense if you're going to burn it. Now, if you think you're going to burn and you're not going to win the race and you might have to sell it one day, maybe you're trying to take that into account. I think there will be a lot of that. I think the market will come back down a little bit right after VF2 because people maybe didn't get their chance to burn. Maybe they were holding extra tokens for a chance to get on the whitelist. And then they're going to get rid of those tokens to try to recoup some of the funds. So the floor might come back down a little bit. And then I think VCon's going to give us some great alpha, and that's going to cause the floor to go back up, right? Hey, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. You have one gold frame and one caviar frame with Patience Lava. What do I think? I think you're going to miss out on the opportunity to burn. And if you're holding the Patience Lava because Patience goes first and you don't have 5 of the same frame, to me, if I had that, I would probably sell my Patience Lava prior to VF2, but following this announcement today. So once he announces the mechanic of how this works and how Patience Lava plays in, obviously that floor is going to rise. People are going to want that if it gives you the chance to go first. If you have one and you're not trying to burn 5 frames for a new character, then the value of that is lost on you, but you could probably sell that Patience Lava for a nice flip the closer we get to VF2 because people are going to want that. VF2 has no utilities. It's more of a collectible. Josh, we're all going for VF1s. That is the holy grail according to Gary. So we definitely all want VF1s. And if you can get one of those, I would definitely do that, right? So we thought, and Gary had said previously that there was no utility to VF2, but then he said that there was a card up its sleeve. So Gary has the ability to add utility anytime he wants to. If he says he wants to add the most utility of anything he does, he could certainly do that. But he has said that there's no utility for VF2. He had said there's a card up its sleeve when asked about utility for VF2. And he said that VF1 is his focus for the rest of his life. So as he adds utility and value, he's going to do most of that to VF1. It'll be interesting to see where VF2 plays in to that. We don't know. And, Gary's prone to changing his mind and making us very happy, right? He often jumps in and says, hey, I want to do this. I think it's cool. I think it's the right thing to do. And he has the ability and can do that. So that'll be fun to see as we go forward. Route 2, if you're trying to burn for a new character, you need 5 of the same frame. If you only have 1 of each frame, it's not going to work. You need 5 of the same frame. Backgrounds, attributes don't matter. 5 frames is what you need. And then it's a race, so there's no guarantees. Flip a Patient Lava for a Hollow Empathy would be sweet. It would, if you're looking for Hollow Empathy to be a long-term play for you, sure. I think you can certainly, again, with that Patient Lava, wait until this announcement is made and people realize the value of it. I think that's going to rise a little bit. All right, let's check our stuff. So the Book Games Exchange, where the VCon tickets are, if he's going to do a sale, he's likely going to have to adjust that. I'm checking in here. I don't see any adjustment. So everything is still as it was, 13 tokens needed. The VeeFriends blog, he said that the blog would give more information today. The last post was February 25th, so we don't see anything new there. Checking Twitter. Nothing. Book Games Sales Bot. Retweet if you want a Book Games giveaway in the next 5 days. Okay? Everybody follow at Book Games Bot V2. And it says retweet if you, I don't know if this is really the Book Games Sales Bot. Don't follow that. Give me a second. Oh, it's not. So that's a fan account. Book Games Sales Bot is a fan account. The real Book Games Exchange Bot is at Book Games Bot, B-O-T. So someone is just encouraging Gary to do a Book Games giveaway. I wouldn't mind retweeting that because I do want a giveaway to come, but another lesson on being careful on the internet. Just because it looks legit doesn't mean it is legit. So keep your eyes peeled on that. All right. I have a set of 5 gold frames and 5 for caviar. Okay. Rutu, then hold on to that patience lava. You might need it. So we'll see what happens there. Checking the floor. The wood floor is back down to 0.29. There's one that is posted for 0.29. The rest are at 0.31. So that's a pretty nice discount if you want that one. And the real floor is 0.24618, and that is a clear frame. There's some black frames down there, some gold frames as well. So you can grab those. A couple questions come in here. Ambition Gold or Candor Bubblegum or Ability Hollow? Jonathan, I'll have to get back to you on that because it would require a little bit of research on my part. And I don't necessarily want to jump into that and take away from this if something pops. So feel free to send me a friend request on Discord. I'm happy to take those, happy to talk to you guys. I just don't click links, so don't try to send me a link to anything. I'm not going to click it, but I do love answering questions. You can also send me stuff on Twitter at BusyNFT23, and I'm happy to engage with you there. And any questions you have here, happy to do that as well. So we're going on an hour of a stream, which is fine. We're waiting for Gary to give us the info that he promised to us today. Huge blog post coming out today around noon Eastern that will explain a lot about the friends list and will remind many that book games NFTs are the only way to get on the friends list. And so he said a lot of alpha being dropped within the hour. That has passed. We are still waiting, such as when friends list and how many NFTs for Series 2. So let's take a moment and check out what Gary said yesterday. He said that all characters will be focused on over the next 40 years and that VF1 holders will be the biggest winners in VF2. He had asked us plenty of yesterday. He felt like he wanted to give the alpha drop for how VF1 holders were going to be happy with VF2. He said, I'm pondering to share the Series 1 benefits, but wanted to ask the community if they need a few more days to buy their Series 1. Because after we announce, things will change with the floor in a real way. And that just gives me serious FOMO. I would love to have a VF1. I just can't get there today. So might miss out for that. I think a pretty interesting one. Someone said a conviction book games token or 5 matching frames. He said if you want a new character, 5. That's not the one I was thinking of. I'm looking for the one where somebody asked him, do the frames match up? And he kind of skipped over it. He didn't quite answer the question. He answered the first part, but not the second one. Yesterday, he said, I just told a good friend, you remember how you regret not getting a Series 1? Well, when you see what happens in Series 2 for Series 1 holders, you're going to regret it again. Cat's out of the bag soon. The time is now, right? VCon is insane and amazing. You should get to VCon using book games, especially wood frames. This is how we know wood frames. He said at 10:26 yesterday morning, wood frames get you the best chance to get to VCon at a sale price. All right. So still waiting on the stuff. Please know that when Gary does make the announcement, the Discord is going to go crazy, fast and furious. We're going to do our best to track everything and see exactly what's going on. I'm also going to probably live stream the blog as it comes out, and we'll get all the information and analysis that comes from that. Do I think at some point we'll choose whitelist over, some people will choose whitelist over burning 5 frames? I think they'll have to, because I think not everybody who has 5 frames is going to get to burn. There's not going to be enough characters. So there will be plenty of people left over with 5 frames who will be minting based on that. But the minting actually happens first. The whitelisting happens first. So you're going to have the opportunity to know if you're whitelisted prior to the burning. But if you don't get a new character because you weren't fast enough, all those frames, likely people will put them back in the pot, which will drive the floor a little bit lower. How many VF2s will there be? We do not know. Gary said there's 26% chance of each token of getting a chance for whitelist for VF2. People are trying to do math to say 125,000 book games tokens, 26% chance. Maybe there's something around 30 to 32,000 VF2s. Gary did say, someone asked, is there less or more than 25,000 in Series 2, and he indicated that there would be more than 25,000 Series 2. So that's what we're holding on right now. We are waiting for the alpha to drop for us to know exactly what the mechanics are for how this is going to work, how the burn is going to take place, where Patience Lava comes in to get you to burn first, and exactly maybe what frames go with what characters. We're hoping a lot of that drops today. He doesn't have to because VF2 is not until April, so he's really got another 3 or 4 weeks to flesh this out. But there's supposed to be a blog post today that's going to help us with that. Also, we're waiting on the VCon announcement. There's a burn sale that should be happening. He said this week. Today is the last day of the work week. Still could be, Saturday and Sunday still could be considered this week. Some people consider Sunday the first day of the week, so maybe today or tomorrow, right? And then Sunday, he has hinted at the book games giveaway for Sunday. So lots of stuff going on right now in book games that impact VeeFriends Series 1 and Series 2, as well as VCon Conference, which is in Minneapolis in May. And we're waiting for that information. Gary said it would be within the hour. That was a little over an hour ago, so he's running behind on that. But we're hopeful. Gary is probably watching this stream right now, waiting for me to shut it down, and then he'll announce everything. Like, oh no, Ben's going to go eat lunch. We're going to make this happen. Let's see. Thanks for that, Project. Appreciate it. So hopefully you guys are set and ready to go for VF2. Again, you've got a month to get your tokens, but as I've said, I think the floor is just going to continue to rise between here and then. It just makes sense. There are a lot of people who don't know. Every day in the Discord, we see people come in and say, hey, what's book games? How does this work? How do you play? How do I get VF Series 2? How do I set up my wallet? So there's still a large part of not only the VeeFriends community, but the NFT community who are not in yet on this, that likely will come over and try to be a part of this. Gary Vee's very popular, and his original project, VeeFriends Series 1, has done very well. I don't remember what the floor is at right now. Let's go check that real quick while we're sitting here. So that original project did well. I think people estimate that his next project will do well. The floor for VeeFriends 1 is 14.25 right now for Series 1. So, you think about what the mint price was back, what, $1,500 to $2,000 maybe to mint. Jeremy would know more about that back at that time. And obviously people have done very well since then on that investment. So I imagine many, many more people are going to come in from the NFT space. It's going to drive the floor up as they try to get into VF2. All right, what questions might you still have that I haven't answered? I'm continuing to check the blog site, the floor, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. I'm going to try to keep up with all of it. So, yeah, Ron, is it Ron or Ronnie? I'm going to go with Ronnie, and I'm going to say that I regret it as well, but I knew nothing about NFTs at that time. So I can't be too hard on ourselves. Some things we missed. What you can avoid is regret of missing VF2 and VCon. All right. So nothing on Twitter here. You jump over and do IG. I only have IG on my phone. My IG is busy_NFT if you're interested in that. And nothing from Gary there either, so that's okay. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Well, yeah, Rutu, I don't know exactly how that mechanic would work. If somebody gets a whitelist in the raffle and then they're like, no, I'm going to go burn for a new character, but then they go and try to burn and it doesn't work. I think they're still going to be able to whitelist, right? Those tokens will still exist. They're not fast enough. They didn't burn their tokens. So I don't know that if you try to burn, and somebody keep me honest on this, if I go and try to burn a new character, but I'm not fast enough, the characters run out, somebody beats me to it, Would I lose my tokens? I don't know the answer to that. I would imagine not, but maybe I'm wrong about that. So Meta, your statement is very important, I think, and I'll come back to you, Project Green. He said the broader NFT space is going to experience a bear market right now. Only blue chip projects will do well. I think that is a good thing. I have a very big philosophy on this, and I've got your attention and time, so I will share it with you. Gary has said 98% of the NFT projects are going to zero. Now, why is that? And I think it's because we're seeing a transition, and I tweeted about this, from NFT 1 to NFT 2.0, I guess I call it. And that is the original folks who got into NFTs were natural risk takers, people that enjoyed learning new things and being a part of new spaces and building. Often people who were very into the art and really enjoyed the opportunity to create. I think we're seeing a transition now away from art and appreciation of that aspect to more an appreciation of utility and investment. So more financial people coming in that are saying, I do value what this looks like, but I also value the investment that I'm making and the community and the utility that I'll receive. Gary has said right now it's collectability with a hint of utility. In the future, it's utility with a hint of collectability. And I believe that's absolutely the case. So you're going to see a lot of projects that were just jumping in to jump in and, hey, I made something that's cool. Don't you think it's cool too? I think it's cool. Isn't this great art? The very few of those are going to be successful, in my opinion. And you're going to see a lot more that are starting to drive utility and long-term value and are playing the long game as the ones that are going to do very well. That's my opinion on that. And I'm investing in Gary Vee, and I've said this quite a bit because I think Gary has a lot to lose by, if he were to do a rug or just ghost us and say, hey, that was fun for a week and I'm done now. It's not who he is. And I think that projects like Book Games and VeeFriends are going to be around for a long, long time. So that's why I'm investing in this and spending so much time here. All right, project. Where do we find rarity for each combo? You mentioned earlier. Yep. So scroll up. I posted a link. You can find it on Tim F's blog. And he's got a great stat sheet where he's done a lot of great work there. So you'll be able to see that. Twitter notification. Nope. Just appreciate you guys following me. Wasn't Gary that time. The friends list 12.5 days before your tokens wouldn't burn. It's 12.5 days before a public mint, not necessarily the burning part of that. And that's what we're waiting to see today. So you get 12.5 days. If you're on the friends list and you have been selected to mint, you're going to get 12.5 days to do so. What that does is it eliminates the gas war. Sometimes, a mint is, I don't know, let's say $1,000 and you're paying, hundreds in gas fees, which is terrible, right? There are times like if you move from layer 1 to layer 2 right now, you're transferring money from MetaMask to Immutable X. You can pay gas fees of $50. I've had it as low as $10, depending on the time of day and what's going on. If there's tons of projects going on and, everybody's trying to burn all at the same time, that's when you're going to pay high gas fees. But if you have 12.5 days, you can pick the time that works best for you. You can sit there and watch the fees go up and down and try to find a lower fee. So, but I think the burn is actually going to be before the public mint during that 12.5 days. I don't think it'll take 12.5 days, really. Tom says you still have the tokens. Okay. How many sets have I made? I've made 2. One set to burn and one set for the VCon ticket sale. So hopefully my sets are big enough for that to happen. Alex has 2 sets. The floor is crazy right now. I imagine if Gary announces, let's say the 4 burn emojis that he said about wood frames for VCon, he put 4 burn emojis. Let's say that it only requires 4 wood frames. People who bought 6 might throw the other 2 back, right? People who bought 8 might buy 2 VCon tickets. It just remains to be seen. But after this burn sale for wood, I imagine that the wood prices will come down to match the floor right now. I still think the floor is going to rise. I don't think they'll drop the floor below really where it is right now, but I do think wood frames will come down a little bit. Am I all in VeeFriends and Book Games only? Yes. And the reason for that is I'm doing my research. I do tons of research every day, all day, basically. And I don't have time to research other projects. I have been looking at a couple other projects that's from some friends that I've made here. And if I get into those, I'll certainly let you know. But right now, I'm book games, VeeFriends, and that's it. And I did state why that is for me. All right, let's do a quick check on all of our stuff. Nothing on the blog page. Exchange hasn't changed. Let's check our Twitter feed. Although I do get notifications, I would highly recommend you turning your notifications on for stuff. For VeeFriends and book games and anybody in this space. I hope today is the day we go to VCon. We get to go to VCon and find that out. I'll be very excited. All right. And let's go back to the Discord again. So, all right, Gary, I'm gonna ask Gary to speed things up here. All right, I'm saying you're within the hour, has missed the window. What hour are you aiming for now? Don't listen to my hunt and peck typing. Typing's okay. I came up in the age where when we went to typing class, it was on typewriters. Yeah. And I decided that wasn't for me. Right? Thanks, Tim. Exactly. Tim said win on time. Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. 3 a.m. Hey, thanks for being awake. That's awesome. I typically stay up till 3 or 4 a.m., which is why I look tired all the time. And then get up at 6:30 when Gary hits the Discord with Alpha. So sleep is hard to come by for me right now because there's a lot going on. So I want to make sure you have that info, and I will sit here as long as it takes, even though I continue to lose my voice. Got a cough drop here, so let's make this happen. All right. So just to catch people up, we expect to hear announcements on VeeFriends Series 2, how that's going to work, what Patience Lava does for us, the mechanics of the burn sale, and exactly if the frames match up to characters. We're going to see if that's the case. Also on the VCon burn sale and wood, how many wood frames we need to burn. Hopefully that happens today. The exchange would be updated. We'd also like to know more about the book games giveaway that's happening possibly Sunday. Gary hinted at yesterday. And then also it'd be great to hear more announcements about VCon if he's got more on the schedule of speakers. He did say that a lot of the speakers are going to sit around in the audience and stay and listen. People were asking if we were going to get a chance to meet them. And I joked about having Snoop sit right next to you while you're listening to somebody speak. And what would you do? And try to light up right there in the front row. All right. Floor rising. I'm on mobile, so I'm not sure if that's accurate. No, I don't think it's rising that high right now. Let me check. So the real floor right now is 0.25. And there's one token at 0.25, then the next one's 0.26, and there's quite a few at 0.26. So your mobile may need to refresh there. All right, I lost you guys. There you are. Yeah, thanks, Rigoberto. Thank you for being here. Yo hablo español, Piquito. Je parle français aussi. So it was fun. We had some folks in the chat, in the Discord. I think it was morning in France, and we had some people talking to us in French. And so that was fun. Really enjoy languages and enjoying talking to people. Yeah, VF1 floor is rising as it's going to. And I imagine, can you even think of what the utility for VF1 holders will be from Series 2? So a lot of speculation going around. Is he going to give some type of royalty? Is he going to airdrop VF2s to VF1 holders? What's going to happen? If there's some type of royalty play, again, I don't think this is going to happen because I don't think the legality of it has been worked out yet. Gary's talked about it on podcasts before, that he'd love to do some kind of business partnerships with VF1 holders, but he said we just don't know if the the laws are caught up yet. And since he's done that podcast today has not been very long, so I still don't think that's the case. But can you imagine if there's a royalty on VF2s for VF1 holders, the floor, I mean, you're talking about that's something that would rival Bored Ape in what would go on there for the floor there. I can only imagine what would happen if you knew you were getting a royalty. Like Gary's getting 5.5% on these book game tokens. I don't even know what that could be, but it would be something. Let's see where we're at. Mobile sort by price is terrible. Yeah, and it's kind of glitchy. It's even glitchy on the normal desktop sometimes too. So if you're going to sort by price, maybe try to show more than 30 if you can do that on mobile. Typically on mobile, I use it as sparingly as possible because it isn't very good. Brandon, that's funny. I don't smoke, man, but that, you know, it'd be Snoop. It'd be really funny to see him there doing what he does. Price of champagne gold is going to be huge. Got lucky and got a rare token. Yeah, man, that is huge. Champagne is already high up there. Marble Diamond accountability, Dr. Gonzo. Yeah, so I'm unless I know it off the top of my head or I know that something's been called about it, I'm not really going to comment on specific tokens. Please reach out to me privately. I'm happy to talk to you about your tokens, but it would require me doing some spreadsheet work, and I really don't want to take away from the stream from doing that. Yeah, people are joking about what I said to Gary. He's late. Tanner, I learned French. That was my minor in college. So I took it in high school and in college as well. It's really one of my hobbies. I think Americans get a bad rap on ethnocentricity, in that Americans are only about America and they only care about themselves. And I think every culture has value and is amazing. And I think probably the easiest thing that we could do, the very least we can do, is attempt to, especially if we're in someone's country, to try to speak to them in their language and not demand they acquiesce to us. So I just enjoy learning new languages. I also enjoy talking to people and meeting people. So I try to show respect in that way by, at the very least, learning greetings and all of that. I've invested in a couple other languages a little more thoroughly for personal and business purposes, but I just think that's something that we can do. So I can say, "Hi, how are you? Let's eat. Where's the bathroom?" All that stuff in quite a few languages, but Spanish and French are the ones that I've spent time studying. Let's see. What do you think could be the next event for putting the use of book games tokens? VCon. I think VCon will be something exciting, and we'll get a lot of alpha from that. And Gary's already said he's got things planned for the summer, the fall, the winter. He's already making plans for that. Hey, congrats, Mike, on the VF1. That's awesome. And you said you've got 2 of 20. Yeah, that's amazing. That's our goal. Lived in Paris for 6 years. Nice, Tom. I've been to Paris a few times, but very expensive city, right? And there's no place like home, right? So I'm here, family, all that. All right, let's do a rundown again. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. This is fun. I know this is a long live stream, and I would be shocked if anybody went back and actually watched all of it. But you guys are here. We're going to do this together. We're going to get the information we need. I'm checking the blog. I'm checking the exchange. I'm checking Twitter. Kind of keeping these up to date to make sure if something comes out, we are the first to know. So think about this. There's people sitting in Discord right now. There's us sitting on this live stream. I'm sure there's some other things going on, but the vast majority of people out there are going to miss this information and see it after the fact. They're going to come back and watch this video. They're going to come into Discord and say, "Hey, what happened? Tell me the info." And you guys are going to have a nice head start on all of this. And I have to answer this text. This is the wife. So forgive me here. So you're going to get a nice update or advantage of knowing this information before the floor rises. So if you're going to buy some more tokens, if you need some, you're going to get to know, but it's going to happen quickly. So there was the time that Gary came into the chat and talked about Patience Lava. That token quadrupled in 1 hour. It did a 4x in 1 hour. So you're going to get an advantage, but not a long time. You know, you might have 15 minutes before you see craziness happen. Yeah, hit the like button. Thanks, Rigoberto. Appreciate that. Live in Italy. Nice. I do not know Italian. I've never been to Italy. Would love to go. I heard some rumors that after COVID, they were paying people to try to get them to move to Italy, or at least making things very affordable. All right. Hit me with some questions, even non-book games related. I'm happy to play and get to know you guys. All right, here we go. Sorry. Hold that. VeeFriends Series 2 Friends List full breakdown. All right. On April 5th, 1 p.m., VeeFriends will announce the wallet addresses and their corresponding mint allocation. So April 5th is when you're going to know if you get a Series 2. Somebody mark this as the time as when we need to know what we need to know. 32,000 book games tokens randomly selected to enable their corresponding wallet addresses to mint Series 2, which will be held 12 and a half days prior to public mint. If you're not already aware, they're already available. Book games tokens are available on Token Trove. Read more for alpha. All right. Friends list is a list of wallet addresses we get early and guaranteed access to mint with 12 and a half days early mint window. The selected wallets be allowed to mint the equal amount equal to the amount of randomly selected tokens. So if you have 5 tokens, 2 get selected, you get to mint 2. Well, they give an example. I gave you one too. That wallet be whitelisted on April 5th to mint Series 2 VeeFriends should they choose to do so. Any unclaimed Series 2 VeeFriends NFTs from the 12.5-day Friends List Advantage window will be added to the general public sale. You get on the Friends List by buying Book Games tokens. Basically, only people that hold Book Games tokens will, before the drawing on April 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern, will have a chance to win the drawing. You really mean 1 p.m.? Come on now. Is that within the hour? If I'm on the Friends List, how many VeeFriends Series 2 can I mint? The number of selected Book Games token in your wallet on April 5th at 1 p.m. will determine how many you're eligible to mint. You can check eligible wallets and their mint counts by using our Friends List checker, which will be available on the VeeFriends website after the drawing. Example, at the time, your wallet has 100 Book Games tokens and 20 of them were selected. Your wallet will be eligible to mint up to 20. That answers a question that we had. Can you mint more than one? Yes, you can. Depending on how many tokens you get selected for, you can mint as many as you need to. Do I need to hold the winning Book Games tokens after the drawing? So this is a question you guys have had. Do I need to hold the winning Book Games tokens after the drawing? No. After the drawing, the tokens will no longer make you eligible. The Friends List will be considered filled. So your wallet is then taken into account, not the token. So example, buying and selling tokens after the drawing. If you bought one of the winning Book Games tokens after the drawing, are you on the Friends List? No. You cannot transfer the mint or the eligibility to mint from the Friends List to someone else. So if you have a token that was selected and you want to sell it and say, hey, this one was selected, you can mint if you buy it. That's not true. Your wallet, once your token is selected, your wallet is basically given a tally. So if you have 100 tokens and 20 get selected, your wallet is then credited with 20 slots. The tokens don't matter anymore. You can do what you want with them. If you sold one of the Book Games tokens, the winning Book Games tokens that got you whitelisted after the drawing, are you still on the Friends List? Yes. So you can sell, just like I said. Once the drawing happens, Book Games tokens don't give you access anymore. What's the total supply count? 55,555. How you feel about that? 55,555 is the total supply. What is the mint price? Under $1,000 pegged in ETH at the time of the launch. What about the 15 new characters? You do not have to be on the Friends List to mint one of the 15 new characters. There will be a separate minting process where you will need to burn Book Games tokens to mint one of the 15 new characters. More details to come. Really? Like I said, he has a month to tell us this, but I sure wish we knew. And then he posted a link to the video he already posted. All right. So there's the alpha, guys. I will go back over that again more slowly, but let's check Discord because Gary did announce it. I said it before he announced it. You heard it here first. Lots and lots of news here. And then he just said not true to somebody. Let me find where he said not true. 32K supply, V2 confirmed. Not true. That's right. The supply is 555. All right. So you guys got to hear it first. Let's see. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything extra that Gary is telling us. All right. So let me pause real quick. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. Man, I just clicked refresh because I was watching the blog, and before he even posted in Discord, we had it. That's awesome. Appreciate it, Dan. Dan, I work from home. I do IT, and my job is more of a get it done unless I have meetings, right? I do have deadlines, but I work around those deadlines. VCon entrance will be an NFT. That's correct. And you have a chance to buy a VCon ticket in a burn sale that we thought he was going to announce today. He may still, but that's not the announcement that we just got. It was posted. I will post you a link actually to where it was posted. So here you go. You guys can read it for yourself. I just read it out loud to you on here. But there it is. To mint VF2 is going to cost you 1,000 in ETH, or you can burn 5 of the same frames of Book Games tokens for a new character. Friends list does not transfer over to your wallet if selected for purchase after the selection date. That's correct. Bruno, you said that right. Nothing on Patience Lava, nothing on the burn side of things. So this drop, remember, there are 2 paths to getting a VeeFriends Series 2. This is the whitelist path that he was talking about. So having a Book Games token is one chance in the raffle to be whitelisted for the Friends list, which will give you a 12.5 day advantage to mint. You can mint for $1,000. You do not have to burn any tokens. What we just learned today is that there's 55,555 VF Series 2. Once you are selected to be on the whitelist, you can be selected by having Book Games tokens. It is a chance. You have a 26% chance to be selected with 1 token. The more tokens you have, statistically, obviously, you have more chances. And once you are selected, your wallet is then attributed the friends list for that minting opportunity. So if you have 10 tokens, you could be attributed 10 whitelist opportunities, 10 minting opportunities. Then your tokens no longer play into the whitelisting. If you want to sell your tokens to fund the ability to mint, you can do that. But you cannot transfer your whitelist opportunities. It is attached to your wallet, the wallet that your tokens that were selected are in. Can one wallet mint more than one? Yes, that is something that we learned today as well. So you do not need multiple wallets. You don't need to move your Book Games tokens around to different wallets. You can keep them all in the same wallet, and that will be attributed to the whitelist. I will tell you that you probably need to be connected to vfriends.com. That is my guess on how this works, the exchange, especially the burn side of things, via Immutable X. So for them to verify your tokens that you have. And there's great videos by the VeeFriends team on how to do exactly that. So great news today. We didn't get enough info on the burn side. And I'll ask Gary V about that. What about the burn mechanics? How does Patience Lava go first? More to come today? Question mark. So we'll see. You guys are awesome for sticking around. Hit me with some questions. I know you got I gave you the link there. Thanks, Goody. Appreciate you being here. Give me a thumbs up. Also watch my other videos. Give me a subscribe there. You guys, I really appreciate your support. How many were in V1? There were 10,555 in V1. There's 55,555 in V2. There's 125,000 Book Games tokens that were minted at start. However, at this moment, there is 122,647 due to the burn mechanic. We expect in VeeFriends Series 2 that at minimum 10,000 tokens are going to get burned. That's my guess. Which would diminish the supply, but also increase the rarity of some of the other tokens, right? If there's fewer of them, it's possible that there's going to be some that were very common that become rare. You don't like the supply. Why is that, Jonathan? Oh, thank you, Jeremy. 10,255, not 10,555. Sorry, getting my V1s and V2s confused. Yeah, so you don't need the whitelist, but you're also paying more for it. And I don't know how to say your name, so I'm going to say Imrimmel, maybe. So you're paying a little bit more for it. If you didn't get your tokens early and cheap, currently the floor is sitting at 2526. So you're going to be paying, if you have to have 5 of the same frame, even at the floor, you're paying 1.25 ETH. Right now, that's attributes out what's ETH around 2,800 last time I checked. So 1.25, you're probably paying $3,000 if you're in burn tokens to get a new character, whereas you're only paying 1 and keeping your tokens that you can then sell to recoup whatever money that you spent, hopefully, or make a profit. So it's a little cheaper that way. But you are cheaper on the whitelist, but more on the burn side. Total supply is all those 5s, but only 32 on the whitelist. Does that mean, did it say only 32 are on the whitelist? Let me make sure we heard that. No, he gave an example. Well, yeah, you're right. So here, this is a very interesting statement. Jeremy, check this out. Tell me what you think. For example, if a wallet owns 10 Book Games tokens, but had 2 that made the 32,000 allocation list on April 5th, that wallet would be whitelisted, okay? At another place on April 5th, 2022 at 1 p.m. Eastern, 32,000 out of 123,000 Book Game tokens will be selected. So what we're thinking is the whitelist is 32,000. So that would mean you are correct. I would have to say that 23,555 will be available for the 5-frame burning. If that's the case, then a lot more than what we thought are going to get burned. 23,555 times 5 is no, that can't be. Can't even, Jeremy. Did you see something that I didn't see? And I'm asking him because he catches this closely. If 32,000 are whitelisted, the thought would be that 23,555 would be new characters. If you have to burn 5 frames for that, that's 117,000 tokens. That's the entire Book Games token thing. That just can't be the case. Or maybe not everybody's going to get a new token and the rest will go to public mint. I don't know. We don't know that yet. We don't know enough of the burn mechanics side, but man, that would be crazy. If there were 23, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I want to get your questions here. More, yeah. What about the 15 new characters? You don't have to be on the friends list to mint one of the 15 new characters. That's correct. Separate minting process where you need to burn tokens. Thank you guys for answering each other. That's very good. I don't get the difference between Series 2 and new characters. So Gary drew 15 new characters that he's going to put into play that you will have to burn 5 frames for. The assumption on the rest of Series 2 is that it is the original Series 1 characters just in a new series. Maybe they're in a new pose. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're just considered Series 2. It's, if you think about like sports cards, right? A player has a card every year. It's the same player, but it's the next year's set of cards. So it's possible that he goes off that kind of feel to it. If I get on the friends list, I only have 1 Book Game tokens. I think I'd have to try to sell it after drawing to get the ETH. Yeah, and that's okay, Pairs, if that works. If you have the opportunity to mint, and you can sell that token or scrounge enough to mint, I would say we do predict VF2 to be very lucrative and to do really well, as VF1 has done. Maybe not as high as VF1, but certainly worth the investment long term. So it might be worthwhile to do that. Benefits of holding a V1. Justin, there's huge benefits to that. First off, you get 3 years of VCon passes built in. Also, those turn into NFTs, which will have collectability value in the long term. Gary is continually adding value to that. We haven't heard the benefits of Series 2 for Series 1 yet. Haven't heard that yet. I didn't see that in the drop. I'll reread it here in just a second. I just don't want to lose the chat. Are they going to include the tokens that haven't been claimed? I don't know. I guess they have to, right? They can't just throw them away. They have to make the assumption that they will be claimed and apply that, maybe. Our Book Games played forever. Wonder what the future holds for the ones we keep. Yes, and especially if you have rare. So he's already talked about that. Like koala, he said you'll know more about koala in 2025, right? And so keeping them long term, there will be value to them. And if Tiger Shark, hey man, says you think you're going to get, if VF1 gets an airdrop, that would take 10,555 of those. Okay, possibly. 32,000 friends list count, possibly, maybe. That's what it sounds like. Yes. I'm guessing rare frames are going to burn less than 5. Maybe. It's possible that if the frames match up to the new characters and we get to the rare frames and he says you need 5 champagne, that would be crazy. That'd be super expensive and quite possible that he could do that, but then you would run out of those frames. So it could be that he requires less than that. Okay, so yeah, appreciate that. And you guys should follow Jeremy Knows, at Jeremy Knows. Jeremy, shout out your handle there on Twitter. And yeah, I'd love to join you on Twitter Space when this wraps up, if you don't mind. So he's saying that Gary may have reserved some for public mint. So we know if you're selected, you got 10 tokens, 5 of them get selected to mint, you choose to mint 2. The other 3 go to the public mint. That happens 12.5 days later. So what is another possibility is that Gary has reserved some of the 55,555 and said, I'm going to keep 10,000 of these just for public mint anyway. So if that's the case, the supply of new characters could be even smaller. And I think it is. I would be shocked if the supply of new characters is over 5,000 really, which would be 10% of this. So maybe it's 5555. Gary likes the number 5. That might be the thing. If that's the case, that would put it at possibly, 25 to 30,000 worth of burn. That's much more realistic. I mean, that's still huge. He did say VF2 is going to hold us over for a long time. Somebody was asking about VF3. So if this is his mega burn event on the front end of this, maybe, but book games is forever. And man, I'd hate to see so many tokens be gone so soon, but maybe not. We'll see. Let's see. The rarity of hollow rainbow optimism. Hey, John, hit me on Twitter or Discord and I'll answer your question, John Jackson. But I'm just not going to jump into the spreadsheet right now about that. Rare frames are going to be a lot more than common wood frames. Yes, I do think there'll be more rare Tiger Shark. He mentioned you could burn 5 or 7 for a new character mint. So he said 5 of the same or 7 of any left over. So he did mention that. So it's possible that if you don't have the same frame, you can burn 7 of any combination of frames. He did kind of hint at that. I still want to see that written out a little more clearly than a passing comment from him. But again, the mechanics and the timing of how the burn race is going to go, patience lava, first, wood second, 5 frames of the same third, 7 random frames last, maybe? I don't know. We just don't know enough about that yet. Shouldn't book games be more valuable than VF2? VF2 has a super large quantity. Actually, book games has 125,000 Heshi, so book games has a much larger quantity than VF2, more than double. Really hope he doesn't drain the supplies quickly. Yep. So we didn't hear anything today about burning book games token for VCon. No, Meta, we didn't hear anything about the burn side of it. Remember, there's 2 paths. This was the whitelist path. We didn't see anything about the burn path. Let me stay on top of this exchange in case he wants to do the sale. I don't want to miss that at all. So this was the friends list breakdown. That's what he gave us. So it was not the burn side breakdown. Really great info here. I'm just checking to make sure I don't miss anything there. What else we got? Do you think he'll announce this today? No, Meta, I don't. I think he's holding that back for more alpha later. And I would imagine it'll be another week or so before we hear about that. Most champagnes will go to people burning 7. If you're talking about VF2 as in champagne rarity, or I didn't catch that, Jeremy. Tim's block has the burn possibility for new characters at 27,140, so 22% of all book games tokens. I can't see all those burnings, but interesting to see the stats. Yeah, Ronnie, I imagine it will be a high amount. So I said, anywhere between 10 and 25,000, but that's a lot. That's a lot. So just to recap, I think this is the alpha we were waiting to hear. I haven't seen Gary say much more in the chat. He's actually on idle right now. He could jump back in at any moment. But just to recap, the friends list for VF2, you will know if you're selected. You get selected by owning Book Games tokens. The more tokens you have, the more chances you get. You have to have it in your wallet before April 5th, 2022 at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to have a chance to be selected for the friends list. 32,000 out of 123,000 Book Games tokens will be selected to be eligible to mint. If one of yours is selected, then you have 12 and a half days with which to pay $1,000 US dollars via using ETH to pay it, which will be pegged right before that happens. And then you can mint that way. If you're selected to mint more than one, and you choose to only mint one, anything remaining will go to the public mint. We think that out of the total supply of VF2, which is 55,555, we think that Gary has set aside some for a public mint and 32,000 for the friends list pass. So my guess would be 5,555 for the new characters. It might even be 555, right? We don't know that yet on the burn side. This is just the friends list side. Once you are selected, your selection to mint, your opportunity to mint is then attached to your wallet, not your Book Games token. If you sell the token that was selected, identified and said, this token is one of the 32,000 that gives the opportunity, that token doesn't carry the opportunity to mint with it. If you sell it on the exchange, it has no more extra special mint value than it had before. It is already attached to your wallet at that time. However, the good news of that is if you need some money to be able to make that mint possible, you can sell your tokens, even if it was the one used for selection. So you can sell that token and recoup some money and enable you to have funds for minting. So hopefully that makes sense. VeeFriends Series 2 does not get you access to VCon, but it does come with something, he says. So that would indicate some type of utility. So people were asking about utility. Originally, he said no. Then he said a card up its sleeve. Now he's saying it does come with something, which is great. We're happy about that. We want more utility. Want to check your info, and then we'll wind this down because I think the main alpha that we have today has been dropped. Please subscribe to my channel, like, and hit the notification bell. If Gary's going to bring alpha like this, I'm going live. So I love to do my edited videos when I could do overlays and all that kind of stuff, but this information is too important and too time sensitive to not get out to you in this manner. So it's quick and dirty, but you need the notification bell on to know when I'm going live. Follow me on Twitter, BusyNFT23. I also post it on there when I go live. And come join the Discord. You can feel free to DM me, add me as a friend there. Would love to chat with you. All right, answering these questions here. Do I think it's worth it just to go straight to VF1 as an investment, but also the IRL and utility it could offer the next 30 years? Like actually next Walt Disney or big brand is V. Joe, if you can get a VF1, that's my goal. One day I would love to have a VF1. What's happening here, and if he tells what's the alpha for VF1 and it drives the floor through the roof, I may never get there. But that's the goal for all of us. We'd all love to have a VF1. Let's see. Listed Book Games tokens still count as tokens you own. Justin, they didn't say that specifically, but yes, because if I go to my inventory on Immutable X, I can see those in my inventory. They're still mine. So I would imagine that would still be the case. Yes, it didn't say anything about you need to have them unlisted or anything like that. There might be a drop in Book Games floor once whitelist is announced. People will liquidate some tokens. You're absolutely correct. That could be the case. We're going to see a little bit of rise and fall. I imagine it will continue to rise until the minting day. You also have to know that people will still have the chance to burn after the whitelist is announced. So there may still be people trying to get 5 frames for the new characters. The biggest benefit for VF1, we don't know that yet. The biggest benefit for VF1 in regard to VF2, there's a ton of benefits for VF1 in the long term. Gary has made his personal commitment to VF1. He's talked about building a theme park and giving lifetime access. He's talked about being business partners with VF1 and providing financial benefits in some way with them, plus whatever utility he wants to provide. He's talked about adding 3 more years of VCon if he wanted to. So there's lots of opportunities for him. He is focused there primarily and everywhere else secondarily. Yeah, thank you all so much for being here. I really do appreciate you joining me on the stream. I'm glad we were able to get the drop. I am confident that we got it before anybody else. We certainly got it before the Discord got it. I happened to click on the blog post, had it up and ready, and we were reading it and learning before anybody else. So thanks, congrats to you. Hopefully that information is helpful to you. When he tells us more about VF2 and the burns side of the path and how that works, I will certainly let you know. As it is, I think we're going to wrap it up for today. Going to go get some lunch and really enjoy being here with all of you and answering your questions. Hopefully we'll get the burn sale information and I'll get to see you at VCon. That's the goal. It'd be great. Otherwise, Web3 is the future. Book games is forever. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you again next time. Take care.